all the time. So I wanted, oh my god, I'm shaking. Stop it. There we go. So, managing challenging behaviour can be a daunting task for both new and established teachers. So this is why I've designed this presentation to help us all understand, because I am still learning, the possible causes of challenging behaviour and how we can best plan for and respond to our learners' needs. Now the main difficulties that the behaviours that I deal with, the majority are little things like feet on the table, mobile phones, shouting across the room, swearing. It's kind of an immature attitude of girls and the boy, 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds. But I have found that these other challenging behaviours are more on the serious side. So all behaviours do happen for a reason, and the challenge for us is to work out the meaning of the challenging behaviour in order to be able to help the learner. So it is important to understand what is causing this, and as I just said, it could be a result of something that's not within their control. In fact, it happened to me the other day when I was in college. This particular student, and she just burst out crying in the middle of the class. I mean, she came in late, she was destructive, she had attitude, couldn't understand why, and then she just burst out crying. And her problem is that she believes that her mum is about to commit suicide. So like I said, there is some very serious issues. The behaviours that you can come across obviously are lack of motivation, neglect, low self-esteem, worries, transport issues, poor nutrition, lack of parental support, tiredness, depression, unstable home life, social problems, time management issues, poverty, lack of organisation, poor study skills, need to build cognitive skills of memory, attention and processing speed. As I said before, you know, there's the usual problems like shouting and swearing, being late, using mobile phone, which then can bring you on to rudeness, not participating, threats, violence, bad language, attention seeking, interruption and being late. Hetty believes that prevention is better than cure in the majority of behaviour problems. So, the trigger, the behaviour, the consequences. Hetty believes if you explore the student's game for the behaviour, so if you know what triggers the behaviour, like I said, you know, before with my student, you can attempt to remove the game and thus the behaviour. Scale states that one teacher's perception of a bad behaviour can be another teacher's perception of a student's free expression. He also agrees with Hetty that prevention is better than cure in managing behaviour that disrupts. We all know what this means. So rather than let it happen, and I mean some cases are uncontrollable, like I say, I mean until the girl was actually able to express the feelings, I would have never guessed why she was in the state that she was in and why she was so destructive in the class. But other things, it's down to us as teachers to get close to the students and try and understand what the problems are. A way of doing this is, like I just said, to gain a lot of information about them. It's imperative to create individuals and group profiles, and this information should be used to inform your lesson planning. This type of information could include initial diagnostic assessment, additional support needs and support plan, attendance and punctuality record, assessment progress and assignment results, educational history, cultural background, and other things that are related to the student in particular. So, an example of trying to understand the student's behaviour in order to avoid it is if somebody has a personal issue like my student, or bullying, which Stacey covered last week in presentation. You have to make it clear to the student that they can talk. I mean, like when my student, when she expressed herself, I took her to another room and I comforted. No, made her feel better. Yeah, that.
I hope you didn't know that.
No, I let one of the friends go with her to the toilet, you know, and kind of sympathise with them. It's important to let them understand that there is help out there for them, and in bullying as well, you know, if one of the problems could be that they're being bullied. You have to create an inclusive environment, and schools and colleges should create a safe environment where learners can openly discuss the cause of their bullying without fear of further bullying or discrimination. And that's what the Department of Education say. Now, another student that can cause challenging behaviour is the distracted student. What we need to do is to engage to prevent distraction by developing sessions that are fun and with group activity and work. Something else is confusion and lack of understanding. So if a student doesn't understand or is not interested, they can go off and start messing about with phones or talking and stuff like that. And it can affect their self-esteem and confidence, as they can give up and feel like they're not good enough, and also distract others. The other student as well that we can have and kind of prevent is attention seeking and overconfidence. This can affect the rest of the class by making classroom discussions difficult. It can anger the teacher and other students. Other students may want the arrogant student to fail. Good preventions for this is to give the student a position of responsibility, to encourage him to set examples to other students, provide recognition and positive attention whenever possible. To basically involve the student so he doesn't feel as though he has to ask attention elsewhere or in other ways. Natalie mentioned last week that it is important for her to tell her students, to explain to her students why it's relevant to embed functioning skills in your lessons, even though they may not feel that it's relevant with a subject. So making learning relevant is an important classroom practice. When students do not see the connection between the content they are learning about and its relevance to real life, they often question what the point of the lesson is. Students will likely be more motivated to work if they know what goals they are working towards and its relevance to their own lives. By providing students with lessons and activities that reach them in the ways they learn best and are relevant to their interests, we are able to provide them with deeper learning. Phil mentioned it as well in his presentation, that as soon as they see a pen, they kind of, you know, why is it relevant to music? I have the same problem with hairdressing. As soon as I mention things, I'm not just plaiting someone's hair, I'm not just cutting someone's hair. No, there's science behind it. So if that's mixing the bud at first, then it kind of helps. There also needs to be a balance between the strength and confidence and approachability, because it's crucial that students feel welcome in school and as though they are part of the learning community, so that they will more likely to take pride in their good behaviours. So, making sure that everybody feels at home, that everybody's included. So, there's some strategies here to help with challenging behaviour. Have a positive attitude, be consistent, identify the problem, state the goal, identify resources, communicate, review boundaries or limitations, record events, identify potential paths, predict the risk, choose a strategy, implement and adapt strategy, and then celebrate success. Bloom's taxonomy is appropriate for engaging many types of learners due to its versatile and flexible with regard to planning lessons that must span a large classroom population, but it's also a very good tool for dealing with troublesome students. So we all know and seen this. Learning is not just filling people's heads with information, it's about changing behaviour. This is a quote that I found on the internet which I thought was really good. And And also, how many students does it take to change a light bulb? Only one, but the student has to want to change the bulb. So, more strategies. Be a teacher, not a mate. Be a good role model. Build a calm environment. Take an interest in the pupils. Think about your position within the classroom and how you can use your voice. Be confident and in control. Be true to your word. Request silence. Don't talk over learners when they are talking, and make lessons challenging. Now, there's also the student disciplinary procedure, which only should be used as a last resort. It's intended to be supportive and not punitive. Use this existing report systems for minor issues. Minor issues can lead on the higher levels of this disciplinary action if a learner's behaviour is not addressed and nipped in the bud. And again, student-led decision, class of code and conduct ground rules, encourage teamwork, especially important in their chosen sector, target setting, smart, professional counselling, positive reinforcement, demonstrate warmth and compassion towards the learner, which that's what I was trying to say before that I did with my student on Tuesday. As a teacher, this is my little quote, by the way. As a teacher, I will teach my students to appreciate and value diversity while embracing differences and teaching acceptance. The great secret is simple. Attitudes are not stuck the way you see them. They can and should be changed and developed to optimise academic and life success. Dan Jensen. Right, so it may not be your tutor group, but it is your class. This was really, really important for me because as a volunteer and having, in my class, they do have the tutor, the personal tutor, then they have another teacher who takes the class on the Tuesday, and then there's me, who's the kind of the volunteer. And I found that in my first lessons, I was gaining no respect whatsoever, and there was actually an incident where one girl in particular said, "You're just a helper. I don't have to listen to you." So at that point, I kind of told them to put tools down and everything, and explained to them that actual phrase suggests I'm here as a volunteer, but I am your teacher in this class, and what I say goes, and my rules stand. And honestly, the week after, their attitude was completely different. So the little speech that I gave them and my position, explaining my position in the classroom, really, really helped. So anyway, this is just a summary of how to manage challenging behaviour. So be firm but fair, stay calm, plan, lesson plans all the time, but remember that they are subject to change. Make sure you record everything. You never know when you have to go back to it. Be consistent, persistence, contrasting, be positive, never shout, praise outwards as well as the result. You can't always do it on by yourself, so there's the help of other teachers, tutors, mentors, and the department head, but most of all, don't freak out. So they're my references, and if you've got any questions, thank you very much.
One last tip: if you do shout or lose it or freak out, make sure you apologise and let the class know that you're human, because they'll accept the apology. It's not usually used, and it works every time, doesn't it, Zane?
Yeah.